My name is Victoria Winters. My origin is cloaked in mystery, as deep a mystery as the one that has engulfed Collinwood, where efforts are being made to discover how a man died, and whether or not someone caused his death.
What are you doing here?
Having tea.
Did you invite him here?
Hardly, but once he was here, I thought it would be better to give the appearance of hospitality.
Why?
He was waiting to see you. I thought it would be as well as if he were in a good humor.
Well, it's a shame that I wasn't here to make the tea personally.
I don't think I would have risked drinking it.
Would you like me to leave?
Of course not. It seems that Burke is going to make everything public.
By all means, stay, Miss Winters. There may be one or two little things that you've missed in your eternal prying.
I have not pried, and you know it.
You are apparently perfectly willing to discuss our private affairs with anyone, even the waitress in the hotel cafe.
Why pick on her? Roger, why don't you pick on someone your own size?
I have nothing to say to you, Devlin.
I'm sick and tired of these insinuations. I would like the matter settled.
I see. Well, in that case, I would like talking to Burke alone.
Seems to me you've had more than enough time to talk to him alone.
I will talk to him alone, or not at all.
Very well.
Perhaps someday we can have a meal, lunch or dinner, without interruption.
Just what do you want?
I want your hide, Roger.
You were alone with Burke. Did he act as though he were in control of himself?
Why, yes.
I wonder if it was all right to leave them alone like that.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Mr. Devlin seemed... Well, all he did was to talk about some of his travels.
That's all?
He did say that he'd come here tonight to settle the things that had brought him back to Collinsport.
Then he's still mainly concerned with clearing his name. That accident he told you about.
I suppose so.
How can he be so insensitive? Why can't he show a little more concern for the fact that Bill Malloy just died?
Well, he's very much concerned. He told me so.
Well, then why doesn't he show it? Why doesn't he drop his own personal vendetta for a while?
Because he believes that the two are somehow connected. He thinks that...
I know what he thinks. He repeated the conversation he had with you at Miss Evans' house.
Well, at least he admitted that he wasn't quite sure what happened during the accident.
Well, then why doesn't he leave Roger alone?
Because he thinks
I'm tired of what he thinks.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stoddard.
Don't be. It's not your fault. I think I'll go get some of that tea that I missed a while ago.
Would you like me to get it for you?
No, thank you. Perhaps I'll get something straightened out in there tonight.
I hope so.
Don't you know that I could sue you for slander? It happens to be against the law to make statements such as you've made about me, unless you're fully prepared to prove them.
Well then, why don't you sue me, Roger? I would like nothing better.
That case was settled in court 10 years ago. The jury said that you were guilty.
But I said I wasn't.
You haven't got a leg to stand on. You have no new evidence to introduce. If I brought up a charge of slander, they would bring up the whole thing again, the whole past. They would have to give you a trial, and the court has already denied that.
Exactly.
What would it prove? If you had new evidence?
But I don't, now that Bill Malloy is dead.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
You don't know anything about Bill Malloy's evidence or about Bill Malloy's death?
Neither one. He certainly would have said something about it to me, and he didn't.
And he didn't say anything about it to Sam Evans?
How should I know?
I suppose you would rather I dropped this theory that Evans had told Bill something that would exonerate me.
You're beating a dead horse. It's over and done with.
Yes, I guess you're right, Roger. You must imagine that since I've already served my 5 years, come out of it with my health, made a lot of money since then, I really have no cause for complaint, right?
Well, it could have been worse for you, you know. It's such a long time ago, and it's finished.
I served 5 years, 1 month, 3 days, and 7 hours. And every minute of that time I thought about what it would be like when I got back here.
I thought you were going to drop that.
I am. If you'll answer one question honestly.
I have answered every question honestly.
Have you? Oh, never mind. I said I would drop that. Besides, there's something a good deal more important to consider.
Oh? What's that?
Did you kill Bill Malloy?
Did I? Are you serious?
I've never been more serious in my life. Did you kill Bill Malloy?
Do you expect a serious answer?
You might as well tell me, Roger. You can deny it later. I intend to find out anyway.
I'm just as anxious as you are to find out how he happened to slip in the water and drown. Oh, no. And that's what happened, you know. Don't make it any worse than it is.
A man who's been around boats all his life just slipped and fell in the water.
There is no evidence to the contrary.
Evidence! I'd rather rely on my instincts.
Why should I kill Malloy? He was a friend of mine. I had no reason to want him dead.
You didn't? Bill Malloy set up that meeting to force Sam Evans to state that I was not driving that car the night the man was killed.
Burke, you make me sick. How long are you going to hang on to that ridiculous story?
And if I wasn't driving the car, Roger, you were. You should have served that sentence, not me.
I must say, Burke, I've been completely wrong about you.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
I said that you served 5 years in prison and that it hadn't done you any harm. And now I see that it has. It's driven you insane.
I still have sense enough to say that you were the only one who had a motive to kill Bill Malloy.
But if what you say is true about motive, then Sam Evans has just as much motive as I have.
I talked to Sam Evans. He had nothing to do with Bill Malloy's death.
You're judge and jury, aren't you?
Yes. You'd better believe I am.
Come in. Can I do something for you?
No. Frankly, I'm worried about what's going on down in the drawing room.
Well, I haven't heard any screams yet. I guess that's not very funny.
No. Did I interrupt you?
Oh, no, I was just writing a letter.
You write a great many letters, don't you? It's nice that you have so many friends.
Well, most of the letters I write, they're not exactly to friends.
Acquaintances from the foundling home?
Very few of them. You see, when a child is placed in a foster home, usually the new parents like to forget about the past.
I suppose that's for the best.
It is, really. This letter I'm writing, well, it's to myself.
You're writing a letter to yourself?
I know it sounds strange. It's a habit I got into when I was a child. It's the only way I had of getting any mail.
How sad.
You can't imagine what a thrill it was to get a letter. Why, I'd put a stamp on it and put it in the mailbox, and then I'd have the double thrill of knowing that the mailman was coming and bringing a special letter for me.
No one else ever wrote you?
No. I kept hoping. We all kept hoping as soon as we were old enough to know why we were there. One day, we'd get a letter. A special letter from our real parents.
Didn't most of the children know that their parents were no longer living?
Of course. But you can always hope.
Yes. You can always hope. You must have written a great many letters to yourself.
It's like some people keep a diary. That's what it amounts to. My own personal diary written to myself.
Still, you must have a pretty complete record of everything that's happened to you.
It doesn't take as many letters as you might think.
But your whole life.
No. Not very much ever happened to me until I came to Collinwood.
You have no right to question me like this. I'm not on trial.
Then would you mind running through the timetable you set for yourself that night?
I've already gone over it with the sheriff.
Well, then you shouldn't mind telling me. You do want to get rid of me tonight, don't you?
I most certainly do.
Good. Now then. You state that Malloy left here at 10 after 10, is that right?
Yes.
Why did he come here in the first place?
To make sure I would attend his meeting at 11.
A meeting whose purpose you knew nothing about.
He said I'd find out when I got there.
But you didn't find out. Yes, and then you say you left here at 10 of 11, is that right?
That's right.
That means you had 40 minutes to kill. Why, I really shouldn't use that word, should I? You had 40 minutes with nothing to do. Is that better?
I had a great deal to do. We're not all like you. Some of us have to work for a living. Bill Malloy brought me some papers to go over, some papers from the office. I was interrupted at first by your friend, Miss Winters, and then I went back to studying the papers, and then I left the house at 10 of 11. So you see, I didn't have any time at all, as you suggest, to kill.
You have never mentioned papers before.
But they were no concern of yours. They were business papers.
I suppose you can produce these papers.
My dear fellow, I could produce reams of papers if I had to.
Yes, I guess you could.
So you see, it's impossible that I had anything to do with Bill Malloy's death at 10:45, since I was right here in this room at the time.
Oh, I see. And it's just too bad you don't have anyone to verify this time.
Oh, but I do.
Your sister. I'm sure Elizabeth would swear anything for you.
Not at all. Your good friend, Miss Winters, can verify it.
Vicky? She's mixed up in this?
It isn't a question of being mixed up in anything. It so happens that she came downstairs at about that time to tell me something.
Something important. Then she must know what time it was.
Well, if you must know, she was going to tell me about a dinner party she had with Sam Evans.
Oh, yes.
Well, surely you take her word for it.
Maybe, if I heard her say it.
Would I tell you something like that if it wasn't true? It would be too easy to check on.
Well, then, suppose we check on it. Why don't you go and get her and tell her to come down here and say what you just said?
Oh, she's probably gone to bed by now.
She and your sister are probably waiting right outside the door to listen for some kind of violence in here. Go get them.
Burke, I'm not going to disrupt the
Go get
entire
them!
house.
You do want me to leave here tonight, don't you? Get them.
I suppose you must think it's very strange that when a child is surrounded by so many other children, she's lonely enough to write herself letters.
No. I know what loneliness can be like.
But you... Well, you could leave Collinwood if you wanted to.
No, I couldn't.
What I mean is you have Carolyn and she has you.
Still, I understand why it's so important for you to write letters to yourself.
Well, it's become more important lately. I try and write down everything. I'm so afraid that I might miss something that might someday shed some light on who my parents are.
Does it matter that much?
Even if they're dead, I want to know who they are. Until I do, I just can't feel that I belong anywhere.
Isn't it enough to know that you're here now?
No, it isn't. Come in.
Has he gone?
No. As a matter of fact, Miss Winters can help me.
How?
Burke seems to attach great importance to the hour of my departure from the house the night that Bill Malloy was killed. It's a bore, really, but I thought it might convince him if he would come down simply and tell him that I couldn't possibly have left this house in time to kill Bill Malloy.
Is that what he thinks?
Well, it's absurd, of course, but it's the only way I can get rid of him. There's no use to appeal to his judgment since he doesn't have any.
Miss Winters?
Well, I don't exactly know what I can say to him.
But we went over the whole thing. Surely you remember.
I remember that I wasn't sure.
Liz, You go downstairs and entertain our guest while I help Miss Winters remember. Won't you sit down, Miss Winters? You must remember interrupting the telephone call I was making.
Yes, I do. It was about 10:30.
You see, about 10:30. We talked for a while about the dinner you were going to have, and in fact we discussed it at some length. And then you went on to your room. That must have been 10:45. I left the house 5 minutes later.
Well, I don't know how late it was. As I said, I didn't pay much attention to the time. It didn't seem important.
Well, it still isn't important, except to Burke Devlin.
What is it you want me to tell him?
The truth, of course, that I left the house at 10 of 11.
But I don't know when you left. I didn't see you go.
Well, it's a pity. Still, if we did discuss your dinner engagement until 10:45, surely you must believe that it took me at least 5 minutes to get my business papers together.
I suppose it must have.
Well, that's all I want you to tell Burke.
Very well, Mr. Collins.
What will it take to make you leave us alone, Burke?
I think you know that as well as I do.
Suppose by some strange quirk of fate you manage to send Roger to jail. What will you have accomplished?
Justice. Is that word foreign to your vocabulary?
No, it isn't. I believe in it myself, but there are times when it's difficult to know where justice lies.
Are you referring to my automobile accident that I went to prison for?
Isn't that what you have been discussing with Roger?
Among other things.
You can't be serious in thinking Roger had anything to do with Bill Malloy's death. Why would he kill a man who's been my friend for years?
Mrs. Stoddard, I am serious. And I'm shouting it loud and clear for everyone to hear. I think Roger Collins killed Bill Malloy. And I think he sent Matthew Morgan into the Blue Whale to kill me.
Matthew to kill you? Why would Matthew want to kill you?
For the same reason you would like to. To protect the Collins name. Now, let me tell you something, Mrs. Stoddard. I'm not at all impressed by the Collins name. And when I finish with my business here, I don't think anyone else will be either.
And what will you have gained?
Vindication.
Is it vindication you want? Or are you merely being vindictive? They're quite alike, aren't they?
Here you are, Mr. Devlin, just as you ordered. Now, ask your question and leave.
Well, since you seem so sure of an answer, there doesn't seem much point in asking it, does there, Vicky?
I don't know what you mean. Mr. Collins asked me to tell you exactly the time you left the house.
And you have now quite conveniently remembered that it was 10 minutes to 11, right?
I haven't conveniently remembered anything. Mr. Collins was here at 10:30. I saw him and I talked to him.
For quite some time.
Well, for a while.
Vicky, now try and think. When is the last time you can place Roger Collins in this house?
I can't honestly say. I can say that I have every reason to believe he left the house when he said he did. At 10 minutes of 11.
Thank you, Miss Winters.
Yes. Thank you very much, Miss Winters.
You wanted an answer. You've received it. Now, will you please oblige me by leaving?
You don't think this ends it, do you?
With you? Of course not. You're behaving now just as you did when you heard the verdict of the jury. The results don't please you, so you choose to ignore them. You seem to think that Burke Devlin can never do anything wrong.
Yes, I can do something wrong. And when I make a mistake about a thing, or a person, it's a big mistake.
I told you the truth.
I don't doubt you for a minute.
Then what are you waiting for? You heard Liz, what she said. Get out.
I'm going. Thank you for a charming evening, Mrs. Stoddard. Miss Winters. I'll be back in Collinwood. Possibly to stay.
Lee Weber's court hearing on a murder charge begins in tonight's Peyton Place drama at 9:30, 8:30 Central Time, followed by The Big Valley, both in color on ABC. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.